If a budget has to be for a common man, then I think real estate becomes one of the largest component of a life expenditure, right? In Mumbai, let's assume a house houses a person who's got a salary of X.
Correct.
The cost of the apartment is 25 years of his salary. Now, how could somebody afford? मतलब तुमने पूरी जिंदगी
Yeah.
खाली घर घर खरीदने में लगा दी तो कैसे होगा?
Yeah.
The reason this is happening is some irrational sections which I have not been able to comprehend of its existence. Why is there an existence?
Yeah.
Why should real estate be given this preference that reinvesting back in real estate gives you a zero tax for the previous investment in real estate?
Yeah.
Section 54. Section 54, even more skewed towards a love for real estate, is if I sell equity shares and I make a gain, let's assume in a nifty ETF,
Yeah.
if I reinvest in equity, I get a tax discount on my equity investment.
Correct.
That means government is telling, तुम जो भी बेचो, real estate खरीदो.
Yeah.
तो अमीर आदमी, the rich guys are buying real estate.
They keep buying it.
They
Yeah.
keep buying it. People in families, Indian families have 7 people here.
Yeah.
If you have 7 people, 2 apartments per head, then 14 apartments and HNI family is cornered.
Correct.
The 13 is renting out.
Yeah.
Is why rental yields in India are 2% and values are there.
Yeah.
You go to Dubai, it's just the opposite. Rental yields are 6%. So this section 50, 54F and 54 are, to my mind, not comprehensible. Actually, it might be ignorance of mine. If they are done away with, I think that will be the biggest favor the Indian government will do to Indians.
Yeah, good to hear that you're not just thinking about the luxury class but the common man as well, and these are the important sections which you did touch base. But again, talking about other spaces, and if we have a look at the mutual fund industry and its expectations, indexation benefit is something which was taken aback. So how do you think, or how important according to you it is to reinstate indexation benefit?
I think reinstating indexation benefit is logical. Because any retrospective change is hurtful.
Right.
Now what happened is, in the 23rd July budget, indexation was done away with for all asset classes. That was still acceptable. But then there was representation from everyone on the real estate space, and you brought back indexation for real estate. Isn't that supposed to mean that for debt funds, if indexation was taken away, it should be brought back for all?
Absolutely.
Or it should not? It should not be brought back. Only jahan awaz, the decibel was high, you bring it back. And then for debt funds, you don't bring it back. To my mind, not logical. And I think this government has always been logical.
Yeah.
But we have to also understand, and we have to empathize with the ministry, that there's so much to look at every year that you will miss out something. So I think ministry has always respected stakeholders' voice, and they have incorporated things which have got missed out.
Absolutely.
It's but natural that you will miss out so many things.
Yeah, and someone has to do the talking, and that's all we can just maybe discuss. And I'm sure government is a bigger, organization or an entity to always understand all of these things, and I'm sure it will be taken care of. But again, talking about the other classes, now that we are talking about segments, when we talk about professionals, see, how do you think important it is to rethink on the profit margin on presumptive tax scheme? Because this was one benefit, this is a benefit. So, rethinking there for professionals, how important do you think it is?
I think it's very important. Section 44 and Section 44AD. 44A is for presumptive taxation on professional income, and 44AD is for business income.
Yes.
The government was kind enough to generously increase these limits from 50 to 75 and 2 crores to 3 crores.
Right.
Now these limits can be expanded because this makes sure that there is very little jugaad in the Indian context being done by these set of people,
Right.
because there is an easier way out. You don't have to maintain your P&Ls and you can pay these. So expanding this from 50 to 75 was a great move. 75 to 1 crore is a great, again a great move, because it covers a lot of professions, right? A doctor is a professional, so he might be getting a professional fee for it. So you would see that the structured economy becomes more and more robust if these two sections are given an impetus with a larger limit.
Correct. And now that we are talking about professionals, another sector, another segment which is far more important is the salaried class, and they have a lot of expectations from the government, of course, all the time whenever there are important announcements. So what a salaried class, a common man, should consider in terms of, the tax announcements or anything for that matter which is important in the budget for them?
Absolutely. I think salaried class, unfortunately, have very little room to maneuver.
Correct.
It's like one person is driving a sports car on the road, he can change lanes. The other guy is going on a train, he can't change lanes. That's how salaries have been cornered into go into one path.
Like neck to neck, maybe. Always. Yeah.
There's no large limit of tax exemptions for him. Now let's go to your very important point. If there is a tax company, right, what they do is they term their seniors as not as employees but as partners. And the income they get is not as salary in several cases, they get it as professional income. Right? So how can an agreement between an employer and an employee, if redesigned, gives you a tax braid where your tax liabilities come down to 1/3? So salaried class should also be given 44A and 44AD. Not 44AD, but 44A. I have known so many innovative companies who design an agreement of consultation with their employee, and they suddenly bring down the salary guide's taxation from salary tax to a professional income 44A. So I think these kind of innovations will be avoided if you brought in consistency and fairness across everybody who's leaving home at 9 in the morning and reaching home at 9 in the evening in Mumbai. You bring in consistency to people. I think that'll be very big a gift to salaried class in India, rather than these small tinkerings. Section 80C ko thoda sa bada diya. Those are all not structural changes, they are delta changes, and I will call this a structural change, is what I would pray for.